Whoops. Okay. It is live now. Twitter. I'm live now with the Silent Hill announcement stream. Much better. Hi, Ricardo Rita. We're getting a bit of an early start on the stream. I'm gonna close a window. 1 second. I'm also sick as a dog. I think that's it's becoming a problem. I'm always sick. How are you today? Like I said, very sick. Dino Matrixes, welcome. I think I thought we'd get some people in the stream prior to watching the actual announcements. They start in like 40 minutes, which gives us time to watch my old Silent Hill Eastern Themes video together. Creepy Two-Face. I feel you, man. I literally just got over COVID for the second time. The second time? Oh no! Yeah, so I don't know if I told this story before, but when I got COVID, I was like just shivering and cold and I had a headache and all that. Like just very sort of basic, COVID symptoms the early days. But like on day 2, my mind just disappeared. And it was like I took some crazy drug because I was basically just sleeping. And when I wasn't sleeping, I took a shower, ate something if I could, but then I went right back to bed. I didn't want to be conscious while I was going through this. And there was one moment where I lay on my couch for like 2 hours. It must have been 2 hours. And I forgot, I could no longer like conceptualize myself as a human being. And I began to instead conceptualize myself as like this ray of light that was being transported through a curved surface of glass. Meanwhile, the American founding fathers were all arguing amongst themselves in the background, trying to create America, and they did that like 100 times because it never worked for them. And meanwhile, I was just like riding this curvature of glass. It was insane. Hello, a Hamilton fanboy. Hey, I like Hamilton. Anyways, I think we should just check this out, just to kill time, while we wait for the real stream. Introduction. Is this a good way to start videos? I feel like this is really weird because it's just like truncated here in the corner. Maybe it should be in the middle. Used to do it in the middle. Yeah. That's very true. Also, I love watching these old behind the scenes of making games because you watch the studio conditions here, and it's funny because I betcha all of these computers and all of these people and all this manpower are like, I could probably do a better job than all of them with my like just with one laptop today, because and not because I'm a better designer, but because they are severely sort of hamstrung by this archaic technology. Like, look at this. They made Silent Hill on this. You saw how like that Stephen King book, that was just like a cover of the book that like barely moved. That's because I couldn't find. Yeah, I couldn't find, or I was too lazy to find real footage of it. All right, you're here. Hi, Kazative. Dinomatrix is. I think the scariest thing that happened when I had COVID is I couldn't speak English. Like, I knew the word, but my mouth couldn't say it properly. Well, that's pretty rough. I didn't have it that bad, but I definitely had like severe memory lapses during COVID. I'm like 100% back. I'm pretty sure. But I also do wonder. I do wonder, am I back, or did I just forget the things that I used to know, and now that I can't remember them, I'm like, I must not have known those things. Oh my god. Coffee. Yeah. I'm very proud of being able to connect Pet Sematary to Silent Hill 2 specifically. Because when I was doing the Silent Hill 3 commentary, I read a bunch of Stephen King, and I had like a lot of audiobooks. And the one, like, I went through Carrie, and I was like, I know this is an inspiration on Silent Hill, let's listen to it. And I was like, okay, I get what they got from this. Then I listened to like Salem's Lot, and I listened to The Shining, and I took like all the best of Stephen King. And then I went through like Pet Sematary, and I was like, I get it now. Like, this land, this holy land with this power to do incorrect resurrections and these weird sort of spiritual energy that emanates throughout it. I get it. Reading too much Cosmic Horror Racer. I have actually also been doing that, Loki. Welcome. I've been going through a bunch of the old William Hope Hudson novels. He's not cosmic horror. He predates Lovecraft, but he's really cool. Let me show you if I can't find a photo of him. Hudson. Because you have, like, you know, everybody knows about Lovecraft. You have this guy. He's like, you know, he is who he is. But not as many people know about William Hope Hudson. Look at this. First of all, if you just look at them, they just look like the Virgin and the Chad. And William Hope Hudson predated Lovecraft. Lovecraft died at 42, and he was like, you know, just boarded up in some racist manner somewhere, alienated from the world. William Hope Hudson was denied entry into the World War, but he went anyways, and he died in, like, the trenches. And, like, Lovecraft, L. W. And if that's not cool enough, you also have this line here that I love. He also attracted some notice as a photographer and achieved renown as a bodybuilder. And if you actually check out his bodybuilding, like, just look at this face and compare it to Lovecraft. Hold on. William Hope Hudson body built. Oh, that's not how you spell William. William Hope Hudson bodybuilding. Like, he had like a legitimate physique from the era. Like, look at his form. Look at this. This is like from 1908. And he's like the greatest horror writer of the 20th century. That's really cool. Stop, my eyeless brains can only get so wet. What is the significance of L and W? L is a loss, W is a win. Lovecraft is a loss, Hudson is a win. But like Lovecraft is also a genius. I can't deny that. I love Lovecraft too. Holy the W in cosmic horror. I'm pulling for a slot machine because then they won't feel bad about spending $70 on a bad game. I'll get $70 in free liquor instead. I am hoping, with all of the hope in my heart, that they actually bring back the Silent Hill 2 remaster cast for this one. Like, I want to see the Silent Hill opening where James is looking in the mirror, and then you hear Troy Baker's line like, "Oh, Mary, are you really there?" I'm hoping. I have no expectations here. I am hoping for, like, maximum they screw this up. Okay, this is something I used to do. I used to do this a lot, and I shouldn't do this anymore. And that is to put the title of the video in the video. Because, as you'll see, I changed the titles. Because the Lost Themes of Silent Hill, like, yeah, it got decent views. I think it got to like 12,000 views or something. But when I changed it to the horror lost in translation, and I changed the thumbnail from this text with a picture of Pyramid Head in the background to the image I have now of like Silent Hill and the horror lost in the hidden horror of Silent Hill or whatever, like faded into the background, it jumped up to like 80,000 views or something. So this is something I shouldn't have done. I finished my coffee. As much as I dislike Konami as a game company at this point, I really hope I'm proven wrong for Silent Hill's sake. Yeah, so here's like with Team Blooper, I don't know. I've never played a Team Blooper game, and I don't know if they're the team for this. Apparently Akira Yamaoka and Masahiro Ito are involved in the Silent Hill 2 remake to some capacity. But that doesn't make me very confident. That feels to me like, you're bringing the music guy, but the music guy was involved in like all the Silent Hills except like the 2 last ones or something like that. And his contribution is immense. The music and sound effects of Silent Hill are incredible, but that like he's not the creative mastermind who made the game. And Masahiro Ito, again, massive contribution, but he's not the creative mastermind. I think that for the first one, you have Keiichiro Toyama, which is where you get like that sentiment of a really sort of Twin Peaksy American-style horror. And then when Silent Hill 2 comes around, it does seem to me like Takayoshi Sato was the guy who was really in charge of everything. Because when you look at the behind the scenes, he's the only one who talks about the game we got. Everyone else is sort of describing a game that isn't really Silent Hill 2. He's the only one who seems to get it. He did all of the CGI cutscenes for that game. And there was some interview I found where someone noted that Sato had to basically, because he was really good at writing women dialogue, that they made him rewrite all the scenes that had women in them. Which is like 70% of all the scenes in Silent Hill 2. So you're like, it sure does seem to me like the game that everyone loves about that's dark psychological horror game must have come about because of the creative lead of the only guy on staff who was actively talking about like the darkness of the human heart and how to convey psychological horror. And then when you get to the third game, it's Masahiro Ito and Hiroyuki Owaku all throughout. So like getting Masahiro Ito back, good choice. If you're gonna update the monsters, having him on board is a good idea. Akira Yamaoka, if you're gonna update the music, yeah, get him on board, because he'll probably be able to do a good job of that, because he wrote all those songs to begin with. But if you're not getting the creative lead, I don't really know what we're going to be getting. Because when it comes to these sorts of remakes, I hate the Demon Souls remake, but I love the Resident Evil remakes. I hate the Demon Souls remake because it's basically just it basically just tries to replace the original, where it makes some changes here and there, but for the most part, it's just a visual upgrade. And when a new player comes to Demon Souls and they say, do I play the one on the PlayStation 3, or do I play the one on the much more accessible PlayStation 5 with the better graphics? they play the one with the better graphics. But the original one is much better because those visuals, they actually congeal together to tell the story that Demon's Souls is going for and to convey those the ideas the game is expressing and all those themes and stuff. Whereas with the Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake, Resident Evil the original remake, they're so drastically different from the original that they don't really replace them. So and that's why I'm actually kind of hopeful for for Resident Evil 4 remake, because they've talked about how they're going to lean much more into the horror, and I love that because I've talked about this a lot, but I don't think you can really compete in the same lane of schlocky John Carpenter, Sam Raimi action horror game as Resident Evil 4 did, because Resident Evil 4 is like it's arguably the greatest action game ever made. So if you're gonna remake it, don't do action, do horror, and that's exactly what they're doing, and I think that sounds so cool. The medium isn't good. Yeah, I've heard the medium is subpar. Yeah, but like with Team Blooper, if there's somebody in Team Blooper who's like a real genius, who's really good at managing and really knows how to assemble a good team to do a good job, and that person is put in charge of the Silent Hill remake, the Silent Hill 2 remake. If somebody like that exists and is given this power and has the prerogative to make really big drastic changes so that Silent Hill 2 remake is a very different game from the original Silent Hill 2, that doesn't bother me so much. But I am really scared that this is going to be largely a visual upgrade and they're going to remove the fixed camera angles, which is like, it's 2022, modern audiences don't want the fixed cameras. I do. I want the fixed camera. I want the tank controls or like the semi-fixed camera or whatever Silent Hill 2 has. But the average players, they don't want that anymore. But then I'm interested in how are you going to convey the same sense of horror? Because Silent Hill is all about like, it's not just the fog, it's also darkness and it's also camera angles. You don't see what's ahead of you, and I talked about this in these videos where you have the radio emitting static to warn you that there's an enemy there, because then it's not a jump scare, it's just this prolonged season of dread. And it's not obvious to me that you can replicate that in a game where you don't have really rigidly segmented rooms where once an enemy has been cleared out of a room, you're safe in that room. If it's going to be a much more sort of streamlined experience where you can just walk throughout the entire hospital or whatever without a single loading screen, it's not obvious to me that you can replicate that sort of feeling. But maybe they can. Maybe like I have no expectations, but I'm not ruling out that they might be able to put something really interesting together here. I'm so mad that original Demon's Souls is still not available on modern consoles. They still didn't put it on PlayStation Now. Yeah, that's also another thing that deeply disgusts me about the Demon's Souls remake, is that when Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence came out, it included the original 2 Metal Gears. And, because Kojima, nobody liked the camera angles of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, so he had to go back and he had to fix that. And then he used the opportunity to put the old games on there too. And I think a lot of my animosity to the Demon's Souls remake would be alleviated if you could just do the Halo remaster thing where you just push a button and you can play with original graphics. Or and I'd love to see that for Silent Hill. I'd love to see Konami be like, look, here is the source code for the original Silent Hill games, and we're just going to release them now. We're just gonna not the source code, but the games. We're gonna do just Silent Hill 2 again. We're gonna beef up the resolution maybe, and we're gonna put it on the disc. It may not be the best optimized game of all time or whatever, but now you can play Silent Hill 2 again, the original. Resident Evil remakes are a whole new game. Visual overhaul remakes like Demon's Souls often compromise the original art design. Yes, that's basically a much shorter way of saying that very long spiel I just gave, Tyler. Thank you. Hi, Danger Man. I think many people miss that the game was created with those graphics in mind, so when you update them but don't try to create the same vision, it's just a better looking game but misses the feeling. Yeah. Which is why like getting Masahiro Ito back, that's a big get. I don't think he's the creative lead on Silent Hill 2, but just having him there And I hope his involvement isn't just, yeah, I redrew all of the monsters and then they did their own thing. I'd like him to be involved in the day-to-day of, like, hey, what are we trying to convey with the visuals here? Like, in the flooded basement, in the end of with the hotel, what are we exploring here? Like, why are we in this pool of stagnant water? What is this supposed to mean? I'm scared of follow the way point to the next spooky location. If they're like, oh my god, yes, that would be an awful development. Demon's Souls Remake's problem was the art leads actively hated the original style. Yeah. There was a lot of, like, especially with stuff like Flame Lurker or the Fat Officials, where you just look at it and you're like, what are you doing here? Why are you changing this? And you're changing it into this much more generic thing. What's up with that? Hopefully this will now force people to play and replay the first 4 games, which should lead to more discourse on 3 and 4. Yes, I actually, whether I deserve to or not, I take some credit for this sort of, the repopularization of Silent Hill 3. I feel like I did a lot of the heavy lifting there. Probably I didn't, but I'm really happy that Silent Hill 3 is, because there was always this sort of consensus that Silent Hill 2 was the superior game, it was the deeper game. But I think, and I think I said this in the commentary, I think that came about because most of the people who played Silent Hill 3 weren't girls. So when the game is talking about, like, stalkers, when the game is talking about, like, bodily autonomy and all these very feminine horrors, I think it kind of flew over the head of most of the players, and it kind of took a generation to actually discover that there was as much meat to it as there is. And I'd really like for that to happen to Silent Hill 4 as well, for people to go back to it and actually discover all the good stuff that's in there. They're often neglected, or you could say overshadowed by 2 stature. Even 1 suffers from it, though that also has plenty to do with it being the oldest and the most dated in terms of graphics. I feel like Silent Hill 1, that's my favorite Silent Hill game, first of all. It's Silent Hill 2 is definitely, like, the biggest of these games. It's the one where everybody knows is like, oh, that's the really good one. Which is why it's like, but that's like, they're all the really, really good one. Silent Hill 2 is not like this monumentally superior title to the other ones. It's better in some aspects, but it's worse in others. And, like, this idea, I think it's really funny that they go, let's remake Silent Hill 2, the one everyone likes. Whereas, like, no, you know, if you're actually gonna do remakes of these games, you can just remake the first one. Because the first one is also this genre-breaking masterpiece that, like, changed the face of video games forever. You can do that one too, and it's like, it has an amazing story, but people just don't know about it. So yeah, that's like maybe a point in favor of they're doing this purely as a money thing. That they chose to just not do the first one. We're just gonna redo the second one, the one everyone likes. Can't wait for Konami to announce Silent Hill, the trading card game. Oh, you know what? Tactical Agent, I think it's called. They actually did something cool in here it is. In Yu-Gi-Oh! They gave us Solid Snake, Tactical Espionage Expert. When he's normal summoned successfully, no trap cards can be activated. Which is a shit effect. It should be like, because he doesn't have any innate protections against trap cards that reject his normal summon being successful. Why isn't Solid Snake's special effect that he can, like, the longer he's on the field, he's just spreading this virus among your enemy's monsters or whatever? I don't know. It's not very thematically appropriate for Solid Snake, but, you know, the card design looked cool enough. Konami saw Capcom return to prominence with the remake projects and wanted in. Yeah, that's pretty much true. I think that's very much the case. But I also think we're gonna get a live stream, like this announcement of people going, well, Silent Hill has always been this really deep, profound series, and we've always had a lot of love for Silent Hill and its fans, and it's like, you mofos cancelled Kojima's Silent Hill. It's like the greatest game designer of all time was given the controls to the most interesting horror franchise of all time, and you shut it down because of some petty in-board politics? And now you tell me that you care, like, what is 8 years later? What if we get an announcement they're remastering 1, 2, and 3? I'd like a remaster of them. Like, and when you say remaster, I think you mean like just resolution updates, and then you just re-release these games. I'd love that. I'd buy a Silent Hill remaster. Like if they remastered the quadrilogy again, I'd buy that for like $60 on retail. Did you hear about the Frasier Blu-ray coming out? Wait, Frasier, the Blu-ray's coming out? I love Frasier. I spent a lot of my high school years rewatching Frasier. And I'm actually like really interested in because they're going to revive Frasier. I think that's pretty cool. Here's another example of my lazy editing. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Oh wait, maybe no, hold on. This. Oh, Acer, how can you be so lazy? Why isn't this image moving? Why aren't you showing an image of this mosquito or whatever hatching its eggs? Because all of that footage I found a bunch of footage for that. And I contacted the footage owners, and I didn't hear back from them. And I was like, well, I'm not going to put their footage into my video without their permission, and it's a 2-second clip, so who cares? As a Silent Hill fan, I'd be happy if Konami never touched the franchise again. We have 3 great games and 2 good ones. Why can't it be left at that? Yeah, I think that's also totally fair. We live in a society, and in a society, games get remade, and franchises get milked. We've had a good, I think, 8, 9 years or whatever, of them basically not touching Silent Hill, and it was inevitable that they'd do this again. Really interesting that Sony is like getting in on this, because Sony's name attached to this makes me really skeptical too, where it's gonna be like, are you gonna turn Silent Hill into The Last of Us? Are you gonna castrate Silent Hill like you did to God of War? Is that what we're doing here? But hopefully it's just like, no, we'll finance it and you make it. It's in widescreen too. Okay. Konami is proud to bring the pachinko horror experience to your home, the Silent Hill 2 Pachinko Edition Reloaded. But if they actually did that, here's the thing. After all these years, and all of this hype, if all they were announcing was like, we're doing another pachinko machine, and we're doing some, like, baseball caps and a skateboard design. If that's all they announced, I would love that. Just, if Konami is going to be that petty and that disgusting, I think that would be amazing. Hello, is this Escape from Tarkov? Welcome, Candle. Candle, because it is that season, you can have the S in the end of your name back. You're no longer on my enemies list. But no, it's Silent Hill. It's not Escape from Tarkov, unfortunately. Dino Matrixes, you can choose whether or not you drop the S in the end of your name. I was kind of shocked that the two of you went through with that joke. It's hilarious that up until now the last word of Silent Hill in a console game was in Metal Gear Solid 5, and Konami couldn't let that stand. Yeah. Sony's remake craze has me concerned, but I find the Dead Space remake so far hits the perfect balance of same and different. I haven't looked at all into the Dead Space remake, but that'd be cool. Like, people like that game. John Carpenter likes that game. He was like, I would make a great Dead Space movie. And I'm like, man, you haven't made a movie in like 30 years, and you didn't exactly go out with a bang. But you did make a lot of masterpieces, so yeah, whatever, man. If he makes, imagine if they actually gave him the license to Dead Space, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do a weird space sci-fi horror movie. Me, John Carpenter, the greatest horror movie maker of all time." Um, uh, what if this is how we get our Bloodborne announcement? Oh, they just stealth drop it in Konami's announcements. That would be pretty funny. If this is a mobile game, it will be the nail in the coffin for Konami's reputation. I think the Sakura Silent Hill game will be a mobile game. I think that was the rumor, at least. And it will not be the nail in the coffin for Konami's reputation. You need to understand that Konami is inventing the depths they can sink to as they sink to them. So there is no bottom here. Acer Candle, Acer has spoken, and I will give the ass back to its owner. You can keep it if you want. Candle might just get a new one. In my restless dreams, I see Bloodborne on PC. Yeah, that's never gonna happen, kid. That's never gonna happen. As I'm a bit late, you might have answered this, but on the topic of the news, how do you feel about the team? Have you played any of their games? I went over this a bit earlier. I've never played a Medium game. I don't know. I don't know if this is like I don't know. Because like I think even just if you just have a team of medium skill, just any team really, they can make a masterpiece. Like I basically believe in a tour theory when it comes to this stuff. Right? Apple is a failed company until they bring back Steve Jobs. All they had to do was bring him back and follow his orders, and they became the biggest company in the world. And I think this is true for, like, you look at something like FromSoft, where all the talent that Miyazaki is playing with now, all of this amazing concept art and this music, and all of the vast talents of From Software, they were already there. It just took a guy like Miyazaki to come in there and be like, I'm gonna take charge here, and I'm going to, like, actually organize these people and make something really incredible. So if that's what's going to happen here, and if Blooper, like, the team, I think, it matters to have a good team, but if you have a really good manager on top of the team, that can be enough to make something incredible. Stream starts in 2 minutes. It does? No, it starts in like 10 minutes. Otrix M, you are banned. Konami already killed its reputation years ago. Yeah. All these remakes show that industry and gamers see games as products more than things with artistic value. Yeah, I also, yes, I'm not quite that cynical. I think there's a lot of elements of that, but I also think people are like, not everyone is a purist like us. For a lot of people, they're like, hey, everybody loves Silent Hill, and I want to play Silent Hill, but I don't have a PlayStation 2, and I'm not interested in paying like $50 for a 20-year-old game, and also I can't play tank control games because I've never played them before. Oh, they're remaking it, and they're making it in a way that I can play too. That's really cool, and I'm like, it's the Demon Souls remake thing. Where like, if I have to choose between Demon Souls being remade and Demon Souls not being remade, yeah, I'd rather it be remade so people can at least kinda sorta play Demon Souls. I'd prefer if it was just re-released, but if my choice is between a remake or nothing, I'll take a remake. And the thing is, I think the Demon Souls remake did a lot to kind of show people the value of the original game. And I think the same is true of the Resident Evil remakes. And that might be what happens here, where people play the Silent Hill remake and they're like, maybe it's interesting if we actually go back. Because if you've already played the Silent Hill remake, how much harder would it be to get you to play the originals? I have Acer's first copy of Silent Hill 2, lol. Yeah, that's true. My original copy of Silent Hill 2 came from America, and it was an NTSC game. So I couldn't play it, and I sent it to Shayna. $50, he thinks. Thank you, I am made whole. You put a space there, Candles. Complete goes for you $100, new 1,000. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. I'm just gonna go and buy Kuon soon. My interest in the Final Fantasy VII remake was purely based on getting to play through the original game with Advent Children graphics and voice cast. I was thoroughly disappointed. Yeah, that's another That's another remake. That's like, this is not the same game anymore. You need to be specific. Chat is chewing me out here. Konami will continue to make crap tons of money on Idolmaster, its gyms, and its casino gaming divisions. Konami is responsible for Idolmaster? I didn't know that. So it's their fault that Miura wasn't able to complete Berserk before he passed away. Look at Takayoshi Sato over there. Yes. Also, Sato, like when I say he's like the creative lead, it's also important to note that I think he's the only staffer who spoke English at the time. So when Jeremy Blostein, who was translating the scripts and was directing the actors, when he was, talking to the team, I think Sato was probably the main guy he was talking to, and it was like through Sato that all these ideas get filtered, because there is genuinely a difference in the writing of Silent Hill 1 and 2 and Silent Hill 3 and 4. And I think it's because the middleman was kind of gone. To be fair, the Final Fantasy VII remake isn't really a remake, it's a reimagining with the expectations that you've played the original. I see. I feel like you can't ever make that sort of expectation. Every game is somebody's first game, Oh, look, it's my game, by the way. Look at that. Look at that. Torch. Wow. My game kind of just played like that, didn't it, huh? Because I've been spending the past, 2 or so months updating this game for the Epic Snail remake. And it's much nicer. Combat actually works. That's going to be cool. Remakes don't always need to be a cynical cash-in. Max Dorath made a video arguing in favor of them for games like Locke, Legend of Kain, Soul Reaver, and I sort of agree, because even if the worst happens, you can always go back to the original and it will not be tainted. Yeah, but I see, because if you go on Google right now, Google Images, and you write in Demon Souls, it is really annoying to me that whenever I do that, the remake comes first. You made a game? Of course I made a game. Trying to help the segue to talking about your game. Oh, thank you, Dinomatrix. Nibble says the entire stream is already up. What? But here it is. Ta-da. Is it already up? No, it's 4 minutes. Chat. We gotta cool down. See? Oh, the stream has probably been leaked then. I'm just watching it from the IGN stream. I have no idea what's happening. If you already watched the stream, if it leaked, and you already watched it, and you start dropping spoilers, I'm not really gonna care. But we'll just pretend. We'll just pretend that this is the original stream if it isn't that. Let's go be disappointed. Go to the official channel. Don't use IGN. Why not use IGN? IGN is that's my jam. What is it then? Konami? Oh, okay. So it is starting. Boy, I hope I didn't miss it. That would be really funny. Survival crafting zombie Silent Hill. Oh, can you imagine? Silent Hill goes open world. I think we've yet to get the really sort of masterpiece open world horror game, by the way. I think there's a potential, and you see people when Evil Within 2 came out, I feel like people were talking about like, oh, it's a horror game, but it's open world. Oh my god! But I don't know, it didn't tickle my fancy quite enough. And there are games like Daisy, not Daisy, like those games that are like Stalker or whatever, where you're just like a weird guy, does stuff. But yeah, those don't do it for me either. I'm talking about like a pretty well scripted open world game. Cell shaded graphics, a hand glider. Wait. Silent Hill dating sim? Didn't they? Isn't that what Shattered Memories is all about? This it? I think this is it. Because like they had the countdown, and then there's just like the fog. And it's gonna take maybe a minute or so, and then they'll reveal something. This is actually really good though, that we're getting this footage of just like Silent Hill ambient fog. I will probably come to use this fog in a lot of my videos if I ever talk about Silent Hill again. And I will. Pathologic is sort of that, but on a much smaller scale. Sort of like one big open area hub, but I assume you're thinking something bigger in scale. I have never played Pathologic, but yeah, that might be it. It doesn't need to be like... I'm not saying it needs to be really, really big. I'm just saying it needs to be open. So it can be just like a small island, but so long as it's all open. Actually, if you played No One Lives Under the Lighthouse, that might be what I'm talking about. That's a phenomenal game, by the way. Oh my god. What's with these chunky, blocky graphics here, man? Konami, did you render... Oh. Konami, you got... Wait, what? They're doing the countdown now? I was already at the countdown on the IGN one. Also, this is locked to 360p. I'm not doing that. Chat, what did you... Ooh, whoever told me to go off the Silent Hill one I was on. Ooh. Livestream. This one has an option for 1080p. This one does not. So, we're watching the IGN one. Chat. I'm sorry. It's almost there. Check your Discord. Uh-oh. It's too late. It started now. Oh my god, it's a creeper enemy. Or just a regular cockroach. That's it. That's fitting though. Troy Baker, please. Also, tell me if I'm too loud or too not loud enough. Does that sound like Troy Baker's breathing? Oh my god, they did it! Oh my... No way! Is that him? Can't hear. Hey, how's the audio now? Oh my god, they screwed up so bad. Yeah, see, this doesn't really inspire confidence that it's just creature designed by Masahiro Ito and music by Akira Yamaoka. That tells me they're not that involved. Oh no, what's that dialogue? No, I don't think that's Troy Baker. Stream's muted. Why is the stream... Is the stream muted? Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me, chat. That looks... Why is that a CGI renderer? Stream is fine. Okay. Oh, you couldn't hear me. We can only hear you. Wait, what? Oh, the game audio is muted. That shouldn't be. Setting audio. Oh my god, it's a pyramid head. Alright, can you hear it now? Oh god, that looks so bad. We can only hear you, no audio on the stream itself. Lol. Oops. You gotta watch the stream yourself. You gotta sync the audio together. Nothing still. Blooper remaking.
Welcome to Silent Hill Transmission.
Can you not hear the lady talking?
About Silent Hill. My name is Selena, and I will be your facilitator. Thank
You can't hear my IGN stream. Oh, now you can hear. That's weird. Too loud. But some people saying, okay, people, I'm gonna leave it like this because I'm not moving it around. Okay, well, also they're just speaking Japanese. None of you speaks Japanese except Loki, so it's fine. Oh my god, Masahiro, he aged really well. Look at his... He's got, like, good silver fox hair. Oh, also Quesadiv speaks Japanese a bit, I think. Yeah, I preempted that before I saw your message. Look at him, he aged really well. He looks like a badass. In your heart, you speak Japanese. Must have been really hard to keep it secret. Oh, Okamoto-san had warned me. And I had a hard time dodging the questions from many fans. Man, I feel like Masahiro leaked this project like 4 times over the past 2 years. Okay, this guy, is this guy in charge? I don't know. How did he age? How did Akira Yamaoka age? He looks pretty much the same. A couple of wrinkles here and there, but he looks pretty much the same. Silent Hill stream, sugoi. James's face looked so weird in that trailer, looked janky as hell. Yeah. I think this is telling us that whatever issues Gaisihi and Konami had, whatever legal issues they had, those issues were not resolved. Ask me to read Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. Yeah. And who was talking about Crime and Punishment in all the interviews and in all the behind the scenes stuff was Takayoshi Sato. So I'm right. Sato did direct it. Even though he's not credited as the director. And James Seehee isn't a good voice actor, and there's like literally 3 voice actors in English now. Well, Guy Seehee, he is an okay, like, if you look at the original Silent Hill 2 as this is a sort of disjointed dreamlike game, then yeah, he actually delivers a really good performance. He actually delivers, chat, you know, I don't know if I've said this before, but Guy Seehee delivers my favorite video game performance of all time in Silent Hill 2. Because it's so non-acting. It's just it's raw and vulnerable and confused. There's a great Sheena Ringo song called Crime and Punishment 2. Yes. If anybody is ever excited to read that book, I'm gonna warn you, it takes like 100 pages to get going. But it's a really good book. Dostoevsky usually doesn't fail to deliver. All the young staff at Konami look up to Yamaoka. Do they? Do they?
制作チームについてのお話もさせてください。今回のサイレントヒル2はポーランドのホラーゲームブルーバーチームで制作しています。ブルーバーチーム。We have received a commentary video from them.
But Konami, are you gonna credit me? Are you gonna give a special thanks to me? Oh, here he's talking English.
One of the best games ever made.
Yes.
For many Bluebird team members, Silent Hill is the title which made them fall in love in horror games.
Okay, okay. Tells me nothing. Also, the next time the Silent Hill 2 logo comes up, join me in being disappointed because it looks like just any modern font. They didn't even use the original Silent Hill font. Ugh. Layers of Fear isn't great either. I played Layers of Fear when it was in the alpha, and I was like, this is really interesting. But then I played it for another 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is all there is? Ugh. Look at that. Look at that beautiful font.
While we want to achieve the same end result, players' expectations evolve over time, and certain things need to be modernized to have the same or similar effect. For example, that's why we went with the over-the-shoulder camera, so we can immerse players into the game world as much as possible.
Yeah, but you're not gonna do that. You're much more immersed when you have the fixed camera, and you can choose what the players are seeing, and you create the ambience, man.
Actually support the original spirit of Silent Hill 2. Combining the old with the new is no easy task.
Updating the animations, nah, that's not that big of a deal for me. I can live with that. I can live with that. They outsourced it to Poland. I don't think they outsourced it. I think Blooper went to them.
Our goal is to recreate everything what made the game a timeless classic, but give it a new form which will draw players even deeper into the foggy streets of Silent Hill.
Ugh, that's a bad way of putting it. Because like Silent Hill isn't about streets and fog. Yeah, I'm not that hyped for this, but like, whatever, man. Maybe it'll be good. Probably won't play it. Oh. They were the most passionate, and you can see the love they have for their blah, blah, blah. Yeah, now they're gonna talk about how like, oh, Team Blooper, we got so many proposals, and we went with Team Blooper. We talked endlessly over some drinks. Okamoto got drunk. Yes, yes. You had to talk together about that because you asked the greatest game designer of all time who was gonna do it. Ah, Jim Ryan. Or no, Shuhei Yoshida.
Hello everyone, my name is Christian Svensson, and I'm the Vice President of Global Third-Party Relations at Sony Interactive Entertainment. I'm extremely excited.
He didn't even wear like a suit.
Congratulations, this is definitely a celebratory moment, and we're looking forward to bringing
Eastern European devs last decade basically pushed tech in games a lot. That is true, Danger Man.
Fortunate and excited to support the revival of Silent Hill.
If it's Silent Hill, why is there sound? I will watch you mauled over this. Kojima the greatest? Good one. There is no director, there's nobody who makes AAA games who has the talents Kojima has. Just in the purely looking at his craft at designing mechanics to tell a story, nobody in the AAA scene compares. Unless you want to argue that Fumido Ueda is a AAA developer, but he's just not, so... I want to know what all these modern players' expectations are. Auto-saving. A movable camera. A lot of cutscenes. Oh my god. Oh, here we go, chat. Here we go. Oh, to expand the world of Silent Hill. Yes, that's what we want. Ueda is only occasionally a game dev. How much do you want to bet that because PT had to get shelved, Sony went to Konami and yelled at them to make a Silent Hill game happen? I don't think Sony yelled at them. I think Sony went to them on their knees and begged them to do one.
You're to be punished. That's good, I like it. You know what, I think you're right.
See, I don't know what this is. I've only seen some leaked screenshots and whatever. This, I think, is much more interesting, because they're actually doing something else. Also, it's interesting to me that they're starting by showing us the radio. A no-code game.
I think you're here for some other reason. And I don't want to be anywhere near you when you figure that out.
Alright. Townfall. Is this like... what is this? Show me an actual trailer for this. Don't just show me that. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is
Oh
John
my
McKellen.
God.
I'm the creative director at No Code, and we are working on Silent Hill Townfall. I remember playing
The dev of
original
Observation
Silent Hill on
is...
PS1 back
Oh,
in
that game is
1999
good? Okay.
And became a fan from that moment on. So for us to work on this game with our friends...
Are they gonna try to destroy Silent Hill? No?
It's a real honor for us to bring a new title to this series that both respects
It's a
the
Silent Hill
new
Battle
and
Royale,
also
calling
does
it
something a
now.
little bit different. To say that Silent Hill
I think it's a
is inspiration
mobile.
to No Code would be a massive understatement. Our previous two games, Stories Untold and Observation, both played with that same deep psychological horror. And at No Code, we're all about weaving...
Observation, that's not the game where you're a blind woman who has to use like echolocation, is it? With all the successful horror films this year, I mean pretty insane, I do wonder if that'll help launch a new wave of horror games. Oh, VR! That's a good one, Shayna. That would actually be interesting. I'm not gonna try to find clues in that trailer. Oh, they're gonna show me the trailer again anyways. No, okay. Have you ever tried contacting Jeremy Blostein or reaching him via email? I've thought about trying, but the thing is, I'm a fan of his work on Metal Gear Solid 1 and Silent Hill, but every time I read an interview with him, he comes across as really, really unpleasant to talk to. And I don't know if that's just because people ask him dumb questions, which a lot of times they do, or if he's just like a guy. Like, I don't know if I can have a conversation with him. But maybe. It would be cool. If I ever did like an actual sort of, hey, let's talk about the making of Silent Hill from behind the curtain. Oh, there's more? There's more?
次は何でしょう？展開もあるんです。ここではその情報をお伝えしていきます。
They're doing their sort of Silent Hill. Oh, that's right. They're going to do a movie, weren't they? I even think they were going to get Christopher Gans back.
サイレントヒルの IP 展開、クロスメディア展開を担当しています内藤です。よろしくお願いします。
A VR version of Silent Hill 2, similar to Resident Evil 4 remake, would probably be way better than the remake by Blooper. That, yeah. I think it could be interesting. If we're not remaking it in VR, if we're doing an original Silent Hill game in VR, I think. Oh, Christopher Gans is coming back. If you're doing a new game for Silent Hill and you're doing it in VR, I think interacting with the radio should be the central mechanic. Have to like pick it up and toy around with it. Oh no, he's not going to do a TV show, or is he? Actually, Christopher Gans made Brotherhood of the Wolf, which is a pretty based movie. It's not good, but it's fun. What is this? What? No, come on. Again with this underground burning coal thingy?
Return is my return to a world, a universe that I have touched in 2006, 15 years ago. the film was a great success, and we decided to go back to the best of his stories. I mean, Silent Hill 2. The film is the story of a young guy coming back to Silent Hill.
Wait, so you're remaking the game, but you're also remaking it as a movie?
Is a pure nightmare.
I have the chance of being very close with Christoph.
Oh my god, look, I'm actually kind of ecstatic that Silent Hill 2 is getting all this love, because I really hope, and this is very sort of petty for me, I really hope the algorithm starts to promote my videos on it a lot more. Give me all that algorithm, all those $20, all those $20.
In the second game, the creator of the
They're doing Centralia again, yeah.
Going back to Silent Hill, the same town.
But do you people know the IRL town Silent Hill was based on? The story about it is really interesting. Centralia was not the inspiration for Silent Hill. There was no, like, that's... it's a cool story, I'm not debating that, but Centralia was not the inspiration behind Silent Hill. I know Ito has gone on record saying it. I think Kiichiro Toyama has also gone on record stating it. The graffiti stuff. Like, yeah, Shayna went there. I'd like to go to Centralia. I think it's a cool, like, place, conceptually.
So it's much more about psychological horror. Even if we are going to find again all the same creature and the same strange terror sequence and things like that, but the first big interrogation and the first big terror is about ourselves. Are we mad?
What are you talking about?
Are we sane?
What are you talking about?
Are we saying to go back to Silent Hill to find this great love?
This one now has so many years from the first one that there is a clear.
This is like, this sounds to me like a guy who look, I don't wanna put him down here. It sounds to me like a guy who didn't get Silent Hill 2 is gonna be directing the Silent Hill 2 movie. Are we sane? Are we mad? Oh.
Somebody that respects the work that has been done, but that also has his own vision. It nurtures
that girl from the first movie was such a bad actor. Yeah, but when it comes to like child actors, I think a bad performance is always on the director. Like, if you're a good director and you have a kid working in your movie, it's your job to get a good performance out of them. Leave her alone.
Were great artistic achievements, and I have a responsibility to transpose.
But wait, they used Guy Seehey's voice there.
Is a real gamer. He has been immersed in this world.
That's why.
Actually, I will say something for his Silent Hill movie is that it has really fun visuals. I think the visual design, when it's not a CGI nightmare fest, the visual design is on point. When she's just walking through Silent Hill, or when she's like just roaming around in the school, it looks phenomenal. So that might actually be worth watching this new one.
Maximum of respect, but in the same time I have quite a charge, quite a goal, which is how to transpose the language of the game, which is entirely about immersion, into a tale, into a story.
Oh, 90, 100 minutes. This is actually the most humble, beautiful thing a movie director has, I think, ever said about doing a video game movie, where he's like, we have to hold the dimension of narrative expression down because we've lost this entire realm of interactivity, but we still need to communicate those ideas. So that's actually interesting.
I was talking about Red Pyramid, you know, the guy with
Red Pyramid.
He's again in this one. Some of the creatures of the film of back in 2006 were very, very appreciated by the fan. But in the same time, for me, it was important to come back with surprise.
It's a new universe. It's a new challenge.
I was hoping he was gonna be like, I had to use Pyramid Head, even though he's James's monster. And he like, I was hoping he'd acknowledge it, because I don't know. I think he's genuinely a fan, but I don't know how immersed he is with like the Silent Hill iceberg. Christopher Gans, hit me up. I'll explain it to you. Just talk to me before you make your movie. Or not. I'd probably just make it worse. I'd be like, put me in the movie. I can be James Sunderland, but I can't reveal my face because I'm very weird about that. Sybil is such a babe. Sybil, I think Sybil is better in the game than the movie. A lot of people love Sybil in the movie. Jon Snow got his start in the Silent Hill 2 movie. That's true! It's just because there's literally only 3 voice actors in English and all anyone wants. How come nobody thought of making a film inspired by or a loose adaptation of The Room? Seems like the best of the first 4 games to turn into a film, also a lot cheaper if they go Rear Window. Yeah, I think it's because Silent Hill 4 is not as beloved. Like, if there's no iconic imagery from Silent Hill 4, except maybe, like, the door with all the locks on, you have that. You have the room with a big head in it. You got nothing else. Even though there are a lot of great visuals, like that thing in the other apartment at the end. But, and that's like the coolest horror thing done ever, by anyone in any game. But nothing sank into the pop culture quite like Pyramid Head or The Nurses. Gans has had a lot of time to reflect on his movies as adaptations. True. Are you going to do a stream tomorrow of the Resident Evil streams? Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to work tomorrow, because I'm still super sick. So maybe I'll do it. But I don't know, like, what are they gonna announce more stuff? Is it just gonna be a Resident Evil 4 stream? Tell him to watch your videos. You tell him to watch my videos. This is a grassroots campaign. It doesn't work if it comes from the top. Pyramid Head is whatever Silent Hill writers want him to be after the Dead by Daylight crossover. Yeah. Acer, this movie is probably already done. They can remake it. Have you ever heard of a little movie called Justice League?
Here is the first one we would like to introduce. From get-go, you already know, 1/6 scale statue of Red Pyramid Thing is coming.
Okay.
Thoroughly supervised by the art director and the monster designer of Silent Hill 2, Masahiro Ito, all details are brushed up. You can even see the details we couldn't express because of the...
I wish I was like sort of miniature statue collector guy, but I can't. I don't have any room.
The final fight against 2 Red Pyramid Things. Up next, James Sunderland 1/6 scale statue. The realistic
it was actually Jeremy Blostein who named him James Sunderland. Sunderland comes from a town that was nearby the town he grew up in, and he thought it worked really well because he's like a guy whose mind is sundered, so Sunderland. Oh no, honey, no. I think they sexed her up a bit too much. When Takayoshi Sato was drawing her, he was always like, yeah, look at the roots they're showing, and look at how, like, she has skin that folds over her dress because she's like a real human being. And then there she was just like a bikini model. Oh. This is actually really cool. Skateboards? Oh yeah, we're gonna get some skateboards, people.
From here, we will introduce some products from the
Oh! We got the skateboards.
Silent Hill board collection. We made a collection that
is there a big like Silent Hill skateboarding community? I don't know. Pyramid things. 8-inch and longboards, please.
Decks are now available for pre-order. An official Konami shop.
Christina Aguilera about to sue in 3 too.
Please check it out. Here is further information about Silent Hill bits.
I hope they use the dog ending for the new movie. Oh, imagine if Christopher Gans had the biggest testicles in Hollywood and he was like, yeah, we're doing the dog ending. So basically, I predicted they were going to get Troy Baker. I was wrong about that, I think. I predicted skateboards. We get that. Now we just need a mobile game. And I'll have 2 for 3. Silent Hill skating community is just me and the 3 other people. Skateboarding got popular in Japan after some young lady shredded in the Olympics. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Great blade while Maria attempts to run away and reach the elevator in time with her outreached hand. This diorama will be coming soon to the Bedrock site. Konami is proud to present all these items on Silent Hill e-commerce page.
Okay.
Don't miss it and secure your order.
I don't quite remember the scene in the basement now, but didn't he kill her with a spear? No, he probably killed her with a sword. Because he like looks at his sword when he's on the roof and he's like, I need a different weapon. This is too big.
Our next guest is Jacob Navok. Jacob, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jacob Navok, and I'm the CEO at Genvid.
Jacob, what will you be presenting this time?
I'm going to show
What
you
is
a
this?
new kind of Silent Hill, an experience that you haven't seen up until now.
A whole new
Is this like an escape room
What is it
thing
all
or?
about? Please take a look at this video for him.
What's going on here? Why are these people? Why are these announcements getting less and less impressive as the stream goes on? Oh no, that does not look good. That doesn't look like a good Silent Hill monster. That looks like... Is this a Dead by Daylight thing or what is this? Ascension. Oh my god. Is it 2012 again? What kind of a name is that? Bad robot games. Oh, J.J. Abrams got his dirty mitts in Silent Hill. First he ruined Star Wars and now he takes Silent Hill away from me too. He can't keep getting away with it. What is this? It's like some weird... I don't know. Didn't like the monster design either. It looked cool for like a fantasy monster, but it didn't look Silent Hill. He has a game studio? Apparently.
For 20 years, Silent Hill has haunted my memories. And lately, I enjoy watching streamers playing Silent Hill with their fans. We love the feeling
hey, maybe he was watching me play it.
Of experiencing fear.
I wasn't experiencing fear though. I was experiencing frustration because I put the difficulty up too much.
Silent Hill Ascension takes that feeling of communal fear to a massive scale. It's a live, real-time interactive series where millions of fans will watch together as the story unfolds.
Millions of fans, you say? That's very ambitious. Silent Hill is all about like the most intimate, personal, vulnerable fears human beings have, like losing your daughter and killing your wife and being impregnated against your will and being locked in a room or an apartment. And this guy's like, well, we want to create a massive communal horror experience.
I'm so excited about this new world of Silent Hill. Here are some messages we received from two important partners in the project.
What is this project? Is this just like a game people play on Discord?
As well as behavior.
I see.
If J.J. Abrams shows up, I'm gonna... Okay, well, he doesn't show up, but he's gonna read it.
Genvid's experience presents a wild, epic, and innovative new way to immerse yourself in the horrors of Silent Hill.
No.
Next,
I don't
please
think
watch
J.J.
the message
Abrams...
from the art director of Bad Robot.
Whoa, people, I'm gonna make an epic way of immersing yourself in the horrors of Silent Hill. Sounds wrong,
Our
right?
approach to Silent Hill Ascension is to ensure we maintain the tone and the feeling that the fans have come to love from the franchise, while also adding our own twist of an oppressed, tormented, and morose dimension of reality.
What are you talking
Silent Hill
about?
creatures are often manifested projections from the darkest depths of the main characters' minds.
Okay.
In Silent Hill Ascension, we build off of this.
Okay.
Our creatures are inspired by the personal traumas and internal demons of our characters' past lives.
Okay.
We want the art style to be a fresh take on the brand.
Not
While
okay.
still being equally respectful to where we
No. No.
In 2021, we released
Wow.
The Executioner.
He has a good voice. I was not ready for that voice. No, Masahiro Ito's monster designs, they're not grotesque and ugly. They're very unique.
VP Creative of our service division to tell you all about it.
Wow, what is that guy's voice? And why is nobody just saying what it is? They're just throwing the ball to the next guy. Nobody wants to be responsible for announcing this.
And interactivity. Silent Hill Ascension takes you and the entire community on a unique interactive storytelling experience where the decisions you make affect the characters.
Storytelling experience. What is this? Tell me what this is.
This is a whole new chapter for Silent Hill.
Oh.
New characters and frightful monsters, where the stakes couldn't be more real. We're thrilled to be working with the talented teams at Genvid, Bad Robot, and DJ2 to bring Silent Hill Ascension to life. Look for it to go live in 2023 and sign up at Ascension.com for updates.
I can see the new charm of Silent Hill. The fun only gets better. Jacob, what do you think of the 2 message videos?
I'm thrilled to work with these incredible teams.
Oh my god, this is so like public relations scripted. Why?
That's
Like,
fantastic. We are excited too. I hope
they
everyone
can't just have an
watching
actual conversation about like, yeah, you know, I like Silent Hill. It's got like weird things in it, and I like weird things.
Thank you, Jacob, for sharing your fascinating
It's always like,
title with
we're
us
gonna
today.
create a new interactive experience for storytelling. It's gonna be a totally groundbreaking, epic way of immersing yourself in the narrative. I'm J.J. Abrams.
変わりましたね。岡本さん、これはどういうことでしょうか。
はい。実は最後に
What?
もう一本サイレントヒルの完全新作の発表があります。我々が自信
The
を持って
funk only gets better.
新しいサイレントヒルです。
Thank you very much. Finally, we will leave you with that
Mobile,
commitment to
mobile game, mobile game, mobile
Thank you
game.
for watching Silent Hill Transmission.
Yeah, this is mobile. Is this like, okay, it takes place in Japan? I actually don't hate that. To just do a Silent Hill game not set in Silent Hill, that's fine by me. Fewer restrictions on what you can do. Okay. Ew. Alright, so like an actively hostile otherworld environment. That's good. Oh, this must be that Sakura project. This looks way more interesting than everything else we've seen so far. This seems like a Silent Hill in name only kind of deal, but I don't care. This looks actually interesting. I don't want this to be a mobile game. Dude. Okay. Don't be a mobile game. F. Don't be a mobile game. Just be like a real video game made by people with a vision, because this looks amazing. Who? Are these all like streamer names? Wait a minute. The game screen is under development. Please note that product, contents, and other details are subject to change. All background CG on the program are game screens of Silent Hill 2 under development. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, chat! They actually made me interested in one of their projects. So I think this stream was a roaring success. I'll also tweet if I get any view boosts. Though I probably won't. I think my video has been more or less forgotten by the algorithm, sadly. Sadly. But yeah, was anybody here hyped? What are people's thoughts? F's in the chat for Silent Hill. I'm the first one to make that joke. Oh, Derp, you were first. You beat me to it, damn it. Looks cool in a lot of parts. Yeah. Ryu Kishi is the creator of When They Cry visual novel series. Okay. Guess we know what games you will be doing videos on next. Higurashi. Who's that? Hyped for the skateboards. You gonna do an ollie for us? That would be pretty fun. Never played the games, so I'm sort of neutral. Yeah, like I think that's fine. Like honestly, I hope they make as many changes as they possibly can, so that Silent Hill 2 remake is a very different animal from the original, and that way you can't really replace the original with the new one. Also, I really like that guy with the deep voice. They were like, I am from, I'm working here in Boston, and I'm gonna throw it over to the VP of creative directors. And he was like, welcome. I am the VP of creative directors. It's my job to tell you about this new way of making games in this Silent Hill. Silent Hill visual novel would be cool. I don't know, but see, I saw that trailer and it was like, oh my god, it's a little Japanese village, and it's like these people rotting and turning into flowers, like in Caelid in Elden Ring, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the coolest looking thing. That's the coolest looking horror game I've seen since like Slitherhead, probably. Like big budget thing. I just want it to be a game where I walk around a map. I'd really rather it wasn't a visual novel, but it probably will be. I'd see you're a man of culture too. I like deep voices. Looks interesting, I think. We'll see how it goes when they release more info about them. Yeah. I'm kind of only interested in the game published by Annapurna, given what they like publishing. Yeah, I need to see more about that. Giving me a vague trailer that, like, I like the final trailer we got because I got like a feeling for an ambience and like an emotion they were going for. The Annapurna one, it just looked like crazy nonsense joined together, and the guy was like, well, if you actually watch the trailer again, you can pick up a lot of clues. I'm not watching your trailer to pick up clues. I'm watching your trailer so that you can tell me what your thing is about, man. By the way, sir, you can make the algorithm notice you if you call to arms your Discord server to post comments on one or all of your Silent Hill videos. Some YouTubers have done it to great success, reaching 10,000 plus. Okay, I'll try that. I'll try that. It'd be like, return to the Silent Hill 2 commentary. I'll see about that. That would be fun. It's like a little experiment. Arguably, it's fascinating to see everything else that isn't the Silent Hill 2 remake getting more interest. Yeah, that's also, I think that's going to be the takeaway from this stream, is that nobody's going to give a shit about the Silent Hill 2 remake. Everything else, people are going to be more interested in. And 10 years from now, when we look back at like this onslaught of Silent Hill media that Konami threw upon us in these years to come, we will not be remembering the Silent Hill 2 remake. We'll be remembering the other things. Or at least more interesting to me. Yeah. Man, can we just like actually appreciate, like, look at this. Look at this. And there's like all these dots coming out and these weird parasite plants are growing out of them. Man, this looks so good. And then the face just peels off. Damn. That looks so much. That looks so cool. So cool. It's honestly very beautiful. Yeah. Yes. Also, if the last trailer so would be a bit of a weird pull for a big developer to hype up a VM like that. Would be interesting, but I don't think a visual novel would get the budget for that trailer. Oh, thank God. If anybody wants this to be a visual novel, I'm not hating on you, but I want to be like, I want to be this girl here dragging a pipe along the streets of an old Japanese village while this horrible horrible. Like, this looks like in-game footage to me, even though they said it wasn't. Well, this horrible just spore infests me. This is so much cooler. And also, because it's not set in Silent Hill, you don't have... It's like, when they do the Silent Hill 2 remake, and they break the rules of how the other world works, I'm gonna watch that and be like, how dare they? How absolutely dare you not do the esoteric research for this that I had to do? But when they break the rules in this, I'll be like, I don't care. This is a Silent Hill game in name only. It's gonna be wonderful. Just play American McGee's Alice game. I don't know. I don't think I'd like those. I've seen some footage of them. They feel a bit too cartoony for my tastes. Higurashi has some amazing kills. Higurashi? I'd have to read that Higurashi. Everybody's talking highly about it. Yeah. But, chat! We did it. We completed another stream. Jesus, I died just there. I'm gonna go get myself something to drink. Maybe some painkillers, because I still have a massive headache. Yeah. If you haven't already, I think the Discord link should be in the description of this video. You can join that. I'll be somewhat active in the post-stream chat, I imagine. I have a lot of thoughts that are gonna come and go. But other than that, peace. Get better. Oh, thank you, Derp. Drink some water, dude. I refuse. I'm gonna drink, like, weird, salty energy drinks that dehydrate me.